The seats are empty now here at the Richfield Performing Arts Center on the campus of Waco High School. But that was far from the case for 3 consecutive days in January. That's when the students here put on an outstanding musical performance, Disney's Tarzan. Hello everybody, my name is Dale Caffey and it's my pleasure to be here at Waco High School. And recently, it was my pleasure to sit down with some of the students and teachers who made Tarzan the musical such a rousing success. So we invite you to sit back, relax, and enjoy as WISD TV presents The Making of Tarzan.
For the power to be strong and the wisdom to be wise, all these things will come to you in time. On this journey that you're making, there'll be answers that you see, and it's you who climb the mountain, it's you who reach the peak. Son of man, look to the sky, lift your spirit, set it free. Someday you'll walk tall with pride. Son of man, how man in time will be. With me right here to guide you, and we turn to take your hand. Oh, with faith and understanding, you will journey from boy to man. Some man, look to the sky, lift your spirit, set it free. Someday you'll walk tall with pride. Son of man, how man in time you'll be. Learning you will teach, and in teaching you will learn. You'll find your place beside the ones you love. Oh, and all the things you dreamed of, the visions that you saw. Well, the time is drawing near now. It's yours to claim it all. Son, man, look to the sky. Let your spirit set it free. Someday you'll walk tall with pride. Son, man in time you'll be.
Joining me now are Garrett Mulholland and Megan Edwards, and they played the part of the adoptive parents of Tarzan, the ape parents who took him in after a leopard attacked his real parents. We're going to start with Megan. First of all, congratulations on a fantastic show, a fantastic performance, not only you as an individual, but the entire cast and crew. Let's reflect on this thing. Did you ever, in your wildest dreams, imagine it would be as good as it was?
Oh, no, not at all. It took me by surprise completely. It was like, it started out little and small, and I couldn't imagine in my brain. And as the set grew and the people grew and the apes became apes and the humans became actual English humans, it became something incredible.
Talk to me a little bit about the work that went into this. It started a long time ago.
Oh yeah, it started we had our auditions in September, but we didn't do any real acting work until October. And when that was done, in those months, several things happened. The ceiling fell. It's a big story. But we had to delay sometimes, and then the last couple of months, we hit it hard. It was nonstop rehearsals. We didn't really even have a good Christmas, New Year's break. We spent New Year's, some of us spent New Year's here.
But when you finally got it all together and actually just had maybe a dress rehearsal, you knew then it was all worth it.
Oh, definitely. I saw fur flying. I saw apes flying. I saw humans shooting apes and everybody acting crazy like apes and then Turk wearing a dress. Yeah, everything just came together.
What did you enjoy most about this whole experience?
I enjoyed growing closer to friends and having that sense of, as an actor, I actually grew from this and actually strengthened my nurturing side. And I actually physically, I challenged myself because walking like an ape, though it seems like, oh, it's elementary school, try staying there for a couple of hours. It is a terrible, terrible experience.
Right. Okay, so opening night comes, all of a sudden you're in action. Any butterflies?
Not at all. I'm a weird person. I get my butterflies after the performance. It's like, oh, did I do that right or did I do that not right? Oh my God, I freak out. You can ask Garrett. I freak out a lot. I really do.
But you go look out in the audience. Of course, there's a little bit of a house light there, and you could see it. But you saw a packed house. I mean, how did that make you feel?
I felt like, my God, they actually came. They said it was sold out. I was like, I don't believe them. I think they're just being nice to us. And then I look out when I walk out with my baby. I'm like, oh my God, there's a ton of people here. And I just went with it.
Now, you walked out with your baby. It wasn't a real baby, but it was the baby Tarzan. And you guys had to be his adoptive parents. You basically wanted to hang on to him for a while.
Yes. At the time, believe it or not, a lot of animals have motherly instincts. There's a lot of unnatural motherly instincts where a cat will adopt little baby ducks if they're in the nurturing stage. And she just lost her baby, so she's stricken with grief. And though this creature, she doesn't know what it is. She doesn't know what it is, but she feels like, I need to raise it. I don't want it to die. I want it to be raised at least with a family. And then, of course, some people don't believe it. Kerchak. But we get over it eventually.
Oh, about to talk to Kerchak in just a moment. Final question for you, though, is you hear the applause. You're coming out for the curtain call. Was it all worth it?
Yes, it was definitely all worth it. I wasn't expecting that many people to clap for me. Each night I gallop up to the thing, and my mother actually told me when I galloped, she was like, I went crazy when you galloped up there and then stood and took a bow and galloped back. I was the proudest mother in the world. And I was like, oh, I want to cry.
Very good. Megan Edwards, congratulations playing the part of Kala. Wonderful job. We're going to turn and talk to your husband now, okay? Kerchak, who once again is Garrett Mulholland. And a lot of the same questions. I mean, first of all, let's talk about how physically challenging your role was.
It was really physically challenging. We actually had workouts before school would start. So we'd get up here at about 6 o'clock in the morning, and we would work out some, and I would lead those workouts with Kristen Petrie. And we would do cardio workouts to be sure that we could sing and sustain the ape position. And we would actually be able to walk like apes, because it's really tough being able to do that with all the hanging from silks and just running across the stage. It was really, really challenging.
Do you believe the role of Kerchak really suited you? I think it does, as a person just watching it, because of your deep voice and just the seriousness that you had on your face the whole time. Do you believe that that role was made for you?
I believe it was. The previous play we did before that was Antigone, and I was Creon, who was like the same kind of father figure king, and that just felt like it was natural to me to be Kerchak, and I really enjoyed playing that role, which was really nice.
How about playing Megan's husband? And you guys on stage together, y'all had some really, really great time together and really some good camaraderie. Really looked good on stage. Looking back at it, talk about your time on stage with her.
Well, we've known each other since kindergarten, and so we never expected ourselves to be husband and wife in a play before. And so it was really new to us, but it was at the same time familiar because we have been friends for over 12 years, 13 years actually. And that's just, it really showed when we did that, and we've just really had this connection, which really showed on stage.
I'm going to ask you also about just looking out, seeing the packed house, hearing the applause, getting that adrenaline rush. Talk a little bit about that.
It was crazy because I was the one who held the ship, and so I would open it up the thing and look through this psych, and I could see everybody all the way to the back. And I was like, it's packed, everybody, and look back there and tell them, like, this is great. And then just hearing them applaud after everything was amazing.
Right, because for those of you that don't know, the ship, of course, came through the cyclorama on the front of the stage because you had to depict the fact that Tarzan's parents were in a shipwreck.
Yes, that was they were taken by the sea pretty much and ended up on an island or on Africa. And the ship just symbolizes how they came over, and that was my job at the time. And there was a little slit in the cyc, and I was able to look through that and just see that entirely packed house.
Okay, let's take a look back at some of the things that you had to do besides playing your part. You guys mentioned to me that you had a job much more than that, and that was set building.
That entire set that you see there was actually made by all of us, cast and techers is what we call the technical students. And the directors helped, but actually all the students put all that together, and that was a really rewarding experience. I believe I spent at least 60 hours up here, Saturday's worth, just building certain things like the tree house, and then the little rocks where the choral director sat. So it was a really, really draining experience, and we were tired every day, but we still had the oomph to keep going because it was a musical Tarzan that we were doing and everyone loved it, and that was the whole goal of the entire production.
Outstanding job. What you look back on it, what are you going to remember the most?
Honestly, I'm going to remember all the fun I had with my friends, even though we spent hours up here sweating and crying and working our tails off. We look back and we realized that we actually became one family from this. Even though at first we were two worlds, we came together as that one family. And that just really shows now. We all made new friends and we all strengthened friendships we had before, and that's just really rewarding.
Wonderful job. What's your favorite scene?
I really like No Other Way because I get to yell at Megan. And I really get to sing in everyone's faces sitting like 2 feet in front of me, so that was really fun.
Okay. Going to turn one more time to Megan, though, ask you the same thing. Is that pretty much your favorite scene, too, especially when you were on stage with Garrett?
When I was on stage with Garrett, personally, I loved Sure as Sun Turns to Moon. It's my personal favorite. Why? Because that harmony at the end was like, oh, and every time I would go and nudge him as an Abe, I say love completely. I would say it perfectly where I can hear it echo, and I'm like, yes. And every time somebody would come up to me, they're like, I love Sure as Sun Turns to Moon. It looked like you two were together. I was like, that would never happen, ever. I mean, we're close friends, and of course we never do that ever. But and what made it very funny and why I love it so much is because that I'm usually the serious one. He's the goofy one. So first of all, we're role reversal, and then the fact that we would never ever be married ever in our lives. So it's just a funny thing on the inside to me. So every time we do Sun Turns to Moon, I'm like, oh, that was so nice. That was so nice.
Never going to be married, but lifelong friends.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely. Megan Edwards played the part of Kala, Garrett Mulholland of Kerchak, and now let's look at Kerchak and Kala in action on stage, Tarzan the musical.
Where's Tarzan? Where is he?
No turning back, what's done is done. I have seen what they can do. He can't be saved by you, by me, it's too late.
No, I won't let you do this.
No more fighting, I'll be obeyed. I'll stand my ground, don't dare defy me. I know his kind, I know the truth, I will protect us. No other way, open your eyes, it's there to see. No other way. He is not one of us and never will be. No more to say. He is what he is, and that won't change. There's no other way. I am leaving him here, and here he'll stay.
He's just a child.
He was fighting just now, using a weapon, and in time it is us he will hurt. Nothing and no one will stop him becoming what he is and was by birth. No other way, he won't come between me and those I love. Believe me when I say, with my body and soul, this I vow. No other way. And in spite of your pain, it will be done. No matter what you say, he never was or could be my son. There is no other way. I won't let him near the rest of the family again.
I understand.
You look good.
I wish I could say the same for you. Birds could nest in that fur, and they probably do. And it's gone so gray.
Well, it happens. I worry a lot.
Look, termites.
You eat them. I'm not hungry.
They're your favorite. It's nice to see you play with the children.
What do you mean? I do it all the time.
You don't,
I do.
you don't,
I don't.
you don't, you know. It's nice to see you smiling and laughing.
Why do you say that? I do it all the time.
You don't,
I do.
you don't,
I don't.
no, you don't, you know. You're my husband, my friend, our leader. You're the one that I love completely.
I am.
You are, you know you are.
You can't imagine the weight on my shoulders.
I know too well how hard it must be.
You don't.
I do,
You don't.
oh yes I do, you know. You're my husband, my friend, our leader. But a little chink in your armor might be nice.
Really?
It might be nice. There was sunshine. There was family. There was our life side by side. This was home. As sure as sun turns to moon when I love you.
And I will be there to answer your call.
You will,
I will.
you really will.
I swear I will.
It would be nice to see you more often.
Why don't you come back? Oh, I miss you so.
You do,
I do.
but you know I can't come back alone.
I am now joined by two more actors from Tarzan the Musical. This is Bryson Shavers. He played the part of Porter, who was Jane's dad. He's also a scientist who was there to study gorillas and apes. And also we have Bennett Johnson. Bennett played the part of Clayton. Clayton was sort of the guide, the he-man. You had a gun, and that was very interesting too. Let's start with you. Tell me a little bit about, first of all, looking back, it all starts in September when you auditioned for a part. Did you know which part you wanted right away?
I actually did want Clayton off the bat. That's who I wanted to be. Miss Childress kind of wanted to give me Turk. She thought about some other parts, but she ended up going with Clayton, and so I was happy with my role.
Let's talk a little bit about who Clayton was and what he was all about in the play.
I was just their guide. I was there to protect them, kind of make sure they didn't get lost, but then I, of course, ended up ruining their expedition pretty much. So,
Okay, Tell me how you worked on that character. Some of it you put on by yourself. You just kind of took charge of it and said, here's the way this character is going to be, and Miss Childress went with it.
Yeah, I was supposed to be a Texan, so I, of course, had to do the Texan accent. And so, yeah, I had to work quite a bit on that. And also having to be really mean was something that I had to work on because I wasn't very used to that. And so that was tough.
You played the part of a he-man, a guide, and you had some choice words sometimes for Jane, that she needs to just settle down and let you take charge and let you do your job. And you said, you're not really a mean guy. You had to learn to be mean.
Yeah, that was one of the toughest parts, really. Up until the show, the directors kept telling me to just act like just complete, I don't know.
We don't want to use that word.
Yeah, I don't know how to put it, but just a really bad guy.
Right.
And that's what I had to work on the most, probably.
Now, one of the most hilarious scenes I remember is when Zane, who played the part of Tarzan, we'll talk to Zane in just a moment, but he sort of mocks your use of the word now because you really put a good twang on it. Talk a little bit about how that came about. And if you don't mind, go ahead and say that line.
Well, I, of course, had the Texan accent, so I had to put that twang on it. So I said, now. And since Tarzan didn't know any English, that's how he thought you said now. And so whenever I said, take us to find the gorillas, now, that's how he thought you were supposed to say it. So that's how it happened.
And so later in the scene or later in the performance, he uses the word now, and it really gets a hilarious chuckle out of the audience. You guys came up by yourself, didn't you?
Pretty much. I mean, yeah, we talked about it a little bit, and we thought that was pretty good connection, kind of take it full circle.
Very good. What do you remember most? Looking back on this, after you're done with high school, what are you going to remember most about Tarzan the Musical at Waco High School?
Probably just the friendships that I made, all the great people that surrounded us and made the show great.
What grade level are you now, Bennett?
I'm a junior, 11th grade.
So this was probably your last musical because next year it goes to University High School. But is there another musical or performance in your future?
Probably not. I'm not looking to do this in college, but I'm definitely going to do other stuff with Waco High, just not a musical.
You get any adrenaline rushes when you looked out, saw the crowd, heard them react?
Definitely, yeah. That's one of the biggest rushes, is just looking out and seeing 400 people watching you and having to put on a good performance in front of them.
Certainly something to remember. Bennett Johnson played the part of Clayton. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, let's turn now and talk to Porter, Bryson Shavers. Porter was Jane's dad. You're a scientist. Talk a little bit about how you sort of took this role and went with it.
Well, I was an old guy, so I had to get in my character and become old, and I developed a walk, which was it got tough because I had to use a lot of my muscles to clench them up, and a hard part about it was I had to get this really high voice, and the opening night my voice was gone, and so like 2 or 3 hours before the show I just stopped talking completely, and it barely came back, but it did come back, and that was scary.
It was scary because you looked out at that Thursday night audience and saw a crowd there, and you said, oh my goodness. Talk to me a little bit about what you did here and the feeling of accomplishment.
Feeling of accomplishment. Well, I wasn't just Porter. I was also an ape. So, my first scene, I come out and I swing across the stage, the very opening scene, and that was the scene where I got the first look into the audience, and I saw a full house, and it was great.
How about the chuckles you got as you took on that role, especially with that funny walk? I mean, that was a great walk, and you nailed it. And talk a little bit about when you heard the audience reaction. How is that as an actor?
Oh, it was great because my first scene, right when I walked on stage, people started laughing, and I was like, well, I haven't even started talking yet. And so that was a really good courage boost. And then once I started talking, they laughed more and more, and it was great. What
was your favorite scene in the whole thing?
It'd have to be the scene where I sang Like No Other Man, because before the show I wasn't a singer, and so this is the first time I've ever sang, and so I got the role and had to work on that a lot, and it came together, and that was fun.
What made you want to audition for a part?
Well, I've been in a lot of shows before, and I was just gonna audition because in theater production you have to, but I also wanted to be in Tarzan because it seemed like a lot of fun. And so I didn't really know what character I wanted, but I was just auditioning and I got Porter. So that was pretty fun.
Great. Well, I tell you what, you guys did a fantastic job. As you walk away from it, what's in your future?
I don't know yet. I'm gonna go to college. The directors want me to go to college for theater and try and see if I can get a scholarship to go somewhere, but I'm not sure.
Okay. Talk about the shirt you got on.
Oh, these are the Tarzan shirts. Go Bananas 2K15, and on the back it says Musical Theatre. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds great. Porter,
Yes, sir.
great job.
Thank you.
Once again, we have Bryson Shavers, we have Bennett Johnson playing the part of Clayton and Porter, and now let's take a look at them on action once again in Tarzan the Musical.
Daddy! Daddy! Oh, come back, come back.
Janie! Oh, there you are, darling. I was so worried.
Oh, Daddy, the most amazing thing just happened.
Miss Porter, the first rule of jungle exploration.
Stay with your guides, but
Without me, you'd both be dead within the hour.
actually, Mr. Clayton, I was gone far longer than 1 hour.
Beginner's luck. It takes an experienced tracker to decipher the mysteries of the jungle. And from the looks of this place, I can tell you, we're not alone here.
Brilliant.
My specimens. 3 days of collecting. I should have never left them lying about.
Back up, gentlemen. We're moving to higher ground. Destruction like this can only have been caused by vicious predators.
Oh, I can see. Oh, daughter, what's this I hear? It seems he fills your heart with joy. I see the symptoms in those eyes. I feel so happy and proud of you inside. So, we both made our discoveries.
Yes.
Though I'll keep mine to myself.
I'm not following you, Daddy.
But if my instinct serves correctly, I may have lost my girl.
Oh, no.
Oh, this is what we've waited for. We always knew one day. This is the link we've both been searching for. It's just a breath away. Can this be true? Can this be true? We'll see.
Quiet.
I will not. Your attitude towards women is just as barbaric as your...
Stay back.
Tarzan!
No, put that down. What do you think, this is a toy? This is not a game.
Such reflexes.
Did someone fire a...
My word.
Can this really be Tarzan?
You see anyone else wearing a loincloth?
Delighted to make your acquaintance. My daughter's told me so much about you.
Professor! Put that down.
Tarzan, please.
Jane.
Jane?
Well, he had to call me something, and Miss Porter seems so polysyllabic.
So, he's real,
Apology accepted, Mr. Clayton.
and therefore useful. Tell him to take us to the gorillas.
Mr. Clayton, you have an amazing talent for ignoring the extraordinary.
It's called focus, Professor. Our ship arrives in less than 2 weeks. And you were sent here to study gorillas, correct?
Yes, that's true.
Very well. Tarzan, will you kindly escort us to meet the gorillas, to see your tribe, your family?
Family.
Yes, may we see them? See.
No.
Why the devil not? Why?
Kerchak.
Bless you.
I'm sorry, Mr. Clayton. The answer is no.
Oh, for pity's sake. Watch how the primitive mind works. You, savage, take us, find gorillas now.
Find gorillas now.
I do not talk like that.
I
Do not talk like that. Gorillas! Gorillas!
Mr. Clayton, you're rapidly sliding on the evolutionary ladder. Best if I take over his education from here.
His education? Well,
Never interfere with the march of science, sir.
I am now joined by two techers from Tarzan the Musical. This is Kristen Petrie, and this is Sophia Umberger. We're going to start with Sophia. What was your job?
I was the light board operator.
Okay, had you ever done that before?
Yes, I've done that many times.
Many times. Talk to me about your experience with light board operation.
I did lights for one act last year, and I did them for Antigone this year. And I did them, the first time I did them was one act for A Midsummer Night's Dream, which was 2 years ago.
What is it about operating the light board and getting the lights ready for, to light a scene that gives you the rush?
I think it's getting the timing right, because you have to watch and just be ready, and then once the lights change, it changes the mood, and it's beautiful. So.
Do you program the light board yourself?
I can. Sometimes I do. Sometimes we do it together. Me and Mr. Garrett or Miss Childress will do it together. Mm-hmm. So, or sometimes they do it themselves. So.
Opening night comes. How did that go? Were you nervous?
I'm always very nervous during shows because I want everything to be perfect. Opening night, it went really well. For opening night, Act 1 I think went a lot better, but I don't know. I think it went great for opening night.
Okay, which one was the best?
Friday night. It had to have been the best, which was good because that's when the school board was here, so that was good.
Got to look good for the school board. What made Friday so special? I mean, were you'd gotten one under your belt?
Yeah, and I think maybe everyone was over the crowd being there since we had already done it, and I don't know. It just came out perfectly. It just happened. So. I
know that I was here with my wife for the Saturday afternoon matinee, and we were marveled because the set is one thing. The set looks good, but the set can only look as good as the lighting that is behind the scenes. Is that what you found? Is that, I mean, you see the set under construction, probably even participated in some of that construction, but until it has those lights on it, it doesn't become that 3D maze and that just marvelous effect that it has.
It makes a big difference. When we first built the set, I thought it was beautiful, and then once we had programmed the lights, and we used a lot of green in our lights because, it's a forest, or a jungle, and so seeing all of the different lights and the different, textures, it's beautiful. So it makes a big difference.
About to talk to Kristen, of course, who was the stage manager. How close did you have to listen to her?
Very close. She actually sat right next to me during the show, which was nice. And she also had her script out, and so if there was any point in time where I needed to check in with her or anything, she's the best stage manager, so I couldn't ask for someone better.
Okay, I'm going to ask her this in a moment, but how did you know when to hit the right buttons?
She told me. She followed along in her script and listened, and we just worked together, so it was good.
Very good. Sophia Umberger, congratulations, and best wishes, whatever you choose to do, but I know you're a heck of a techer.
Thank you.
Okay, once again, this is Sophia Umberger. She ran the light board during the performance of Tarzan the Musical. Now we're going to talk to the head honcho behind the scene, if you were, the person wearing the headsets, Kristen Petrie, stage manager.
Yes, sir.
How did you get this role?
Well, it started out with last year. I was a stage manager for Waco High's one-act performance, and I really enjoyed it. And I had a discussion with Miss Childress prior to the 2014 school year ending and asked, what are our plans for the musical? And at that point, we didn't even know it was Tarzan yet. And we had talked about maybe doing a management role again, and I'm just really excited that she actually let me do it because it ended up being such an amazing experience.
Now, you have a little power as stage manager, don't you? Talk to me a little bit about what a stage manager does and the power you have.
Well, a stage manager is, oh goodness.
Don't be bashful.
Well, you have to work with the performers, of course, making sure that like rehearsal times are convenient for them, that they have all their materials together, that if they get behind on blocking, that you have it documented so that they can come back and look at it later on. And then you have to work with the technicians, so making sure that all the light cues are written down in the right places, making sure that the psych cues, like our curtain that came down, making sure that those cues were written on, the spotlight operators, making sure that they had a heads up when they were supposed to pick up a character or when to drop them off. It's kind of like the bridge between the performers and the technicians, I kind of feel like, because we are one whole, but there's, especially on performance nights, you can't have a performer telling a technician what to do. It's really difficult, but it's a lot of fun. Manager definitely fits the term, I think, because you do have to have this oversight of everything that's going on and make sure that it's all running smoothly.
I mentioned that you wore a headset. In fact, I was seated where I could hear you.
Oh, goodness.
And so that was really interesting to me. Who was on the other end of the headsets?
Well, Sophia was sitting right next to me, so she didn't actually need a headset, but soundboard operator was also hooked up to a headset. We had our assistant stage manager stage left on a headset, and we also had somebody on stage right on a headset. And then we had our spotlight operators on headsets. So talking to all those people, they were excellent people to work with, because I know if I was stuck listening to my voice for an hour, I'd probably go crazy. But we really had a good chemistry. We were all able to work together. We were able to go off other people's cues, and goodness, just looking back at the show, it gives me chills because it really came together so nicely.
2 years ago, you were actually in the musical, is that right? Into the Woods?
Yes, sir.
This time you were behind the scenes. What do you like it? What do you like best?
Oh goodness. This show, I wouldn't have wanted to be anywhere else, I don't think. Being the stage manager was such an honor. Like, people talk about it like it might have been a burden, but I never had a day where I felt like unappreciated. People were always saying thank you and always helping me out, and it was such a good experience because, I was able to sit back there and watch the show 4 nights in a row and just see all these people's hard work come together in this beautiful show, and it was such an amazing experience.
And I need to ask you this. Having been in the musical 2 years ago and played a part on stage and know what that role is all about, did that help you as stage manager?
Being a performer previously does help a lot because you do know, okay, as a performer, I know that I'm worried about this and this and this. And so as stage manager, I can kind of knock some of those variables out, say, well, okay, let's take care of organization for makeup so you don't have to worry about it the night of the show. Like, techers and management will make sure that that's planned out for you. And so that's really good because it's not like a performer's talking to somebody who hasn't been through that before. And it's not like I'm talking to a performer as if I've never been in their shoes before. So being able to see eye to eye with them really helps. And they're just a really good group of people to work with. So
I don't know if being part of musicals is in your future, but what will you take away from this the most?
Probably just how much hard work can pay off. So many late nights, so many early days, and just the reward of seeing everybody's smiles on stage and just seeing the audience, like their reaction to it. I'm going to carry it with me for the rest of my life. So
very good. Congratulations to you.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Once again, I'm going to turn now, though, and ask one more question of Sophia. If you will, tell me, you had to punch a lot of buttons out there and do a lot of lighting. Which section of the performance did you like the most as far as where you had to do several things?
I think probably my favorite song to do had to be, lighting-wise, probably Trashing the Camp, because there was a lot going on, lights were moving everywhere, and then there were lots of things that had to be like right on the beat, which is always fun. And so just like the excitement of the song and the music with the lights going crazy is a lot of fun, and the audience gets excited. It's really fun.
And again, that's called Trashing the Camp?
Yes.
Okay. So let's take a look at Trashing the Camp, Tarzan the Musical at Waco High School.
Oh, yeah.
I am now joined by Jane and Tarzan. This is Zane McDurham playing the part of Tarzan, and Kaylee Huser was Jane. We talked to you to promote this performance. We got the crowds to come out. It's all over now, but let's look back at it now. What are you going to remember most about this thing?
All of the hard work that's been put into it, and just all of the memories that we've made together.
What did you enjoy most about playing the part of Jane?
I really enjoyed running around the stage and being a really quirky British lady. I love British people.
Now, we talked to Porter, your dad, earlier. How was it working with Porter or Bryson?
It was a lot of fun, and there were times when we would have to experiment with some of the things and acting like an older person, and we had to build our relationship as a father-daughter role.
And then how about your relationship with Tarzan as it grew throughout the musical?
It was interesting. We were already friends before, and so I guess our friendship just grew stronger.
Opening night, you look out, maybe, I hope you looked out, and saw the crowd. Any jitters, any first game jitters, as they say?
Well, I wasn't really nervous because I had most of Act 1 to kind of sit back and sing in the pit. And so it wasn't really bad. I was kind of over it by the time we had the elementary school performances. It was really fun.
Well, let's talk about that too, is that this is the first musical I can recall where you had numerous elementary kids joining in. How was it working with the elementary kids?
Oh, it was a blast. The little kids had so much energy that it kept us going throughout the entire show.
Okay, I got to talk to you about the set. Did you help build the set?
Yes, we spent a lot of time over Christmas break and leading up to the opening of the show, just painting everything and putting down the muslin, and so it was a lot of work.
You saw the set come together, and all of a sudden then the lights were put on it. Did you have a chance just to look back and go, wow?
Yeah, in fact, when they were programming the lights, I was here helping them, and so I got to see all of that come together, and it was beautiful.
What are you going to look back and remember most about this and take away from it? In other words, you mentioned friendships. You had a leading part in it too. Talk a little bit about your reflections.
I'm definitely going to take back just staying in character and being able to go through all of the technical difficulties and, I don't know, just performing. Just I have more experience and I'm not as nervous anymore about doing this.
What grade are you now?
I'm a sophomore.
Sophomore, that means in 2 years the musical comes back here. You going to be interested in it?
Oh, yes. Yes, I definitely want to be in the next musical.
How are you going to top Tarzan?
I really don't know. I have no idea.
Well, Kaylee Huser, you did a fantastic job as Jane. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Now going to turn and talk to Tarzan, Zane McDurham. We talked to you, of course, before the performance to get the crowds out. And again, as I told Haley, you looked out every night and even that Saturday afternoon, and all you saw were butts in the seats.
Yes,
How did that make you feel?
It was great. Knowing that we had almost full houses for every performance was just great. Knowing that we're going to make an impact on a lot of people, even some parents will know that this is the right school for their kids, and just being able to perform for everyone was great.
What did you enjoy most about having really the lead role, playing Tarzan?
I liked getting to swing out over the audience. That was a lot of fun, and getting to see everyone's faces, sitting there in awe as someone swings over them. I think that was my favorite part.
Well, I could tell that too, because when you came out for the encore, you got an extra swing. I mean, was that all planned, or did you decide to do that when you came out for the curtain call?
It was all planned, yes. And also, the high five, that was not planned, but I got to high five some of the people on that second swing out.
Okay, talked to Bennett Johnson earlier, and he played the part of what was his name? Clayton, and he was the guide, and he was talking about that Texas drawl, and the fact that later on in the play, you kind of used that on him and really drew a big laugh from the audience when you used the word Nile. How did that come about?
It was actually, we were rehearsing, working in the choir room on it, and Miss Childress thought it would be pretty funny, and we both agreed it would be pretty funny, so we decided to do it.
Well, when it came out, you heard the laughter from the audience. That was just wonderful. Looking back on it, what are you going to take away from this?
It was a big role, and I know that I did pretty well on it, so I like that I did a good job on something so big, but performance experience is always good. Knowing that we built a set as good as we built, all of it, the whole show is just great. And, yeah.
Okay, so we're about to look at another scene. Should we look at you swinging over the audience, or should we look at you maybe on stage with Jane?
I think whatever you think is best.
Oh, a very diplomatic answer. Okay, once again, Zane McDurham, Tarzan, congratulations. And Kaylee Huser, Jane, congratulations. I don't know what scene Jesse Boteo is going to show us next, but let's see.
So here I am feeling things I've never felt, and all because of you. My world is changing.
She turned my whole world upside down.
Everything that I do to catch his eye. Oh, and I won't deny. I stand here mother's heart is bigger than the whole of the jungle. Why then do I feel so sad? As if nothing could possibly raise my spirits at this dark moment. Oh, beautiful. The flowers, I mean.
For Jane.
Tarzan, the ship is here to take us home to England.
Jane, go?
With considerable regret. Unless, why not? You could go with us. Oh, Tarzan, would you?
I go with Jane?
It's the best way to learn about where you came from, to see England.
England today, home tomorrow. Yes!
Oh, no. You see, it would be very difficult for you to come back. Ever.
Never to come back?
I know it sounds too awful, but it's time for you to be where you were meant to be. With me. I mean with us. I mean with people.
No.
But what other...
Stay!
Here? Me? Oh, no. England has steam engines and street lamps and the theatre.
Here, Jane has everything.
I'm sorry. It's lovely here with you, but this... It's not my home.
Jane!
Last but certainly not least, the faculty members who made Tarzan the Musical such a success at Waco High School. This is Carrie Forehand and Christy Lujan. They are the choir directors. There is Corey Garrett and Kaylin Childress. They are the theater directors here. So we're going to start out with the music side of this. Another musical at Waco High School. You tackled Tarzan. Compared to the other ones you had, how tough was this one?
This one was tough in so many different ways, I think, with the rotation being a little, I guess we kind of got thrown off a little bit whenever we did back-to-back musicals. And so this year we were kind of just a little, we didn't quite know where our kids were going to be vocally and acting-wise, because, you know, you have a lot of kids who can sing really well and you have a lot of kids who can act really well. And we didn't know this year what our kids could do with both sides of that. And so I think that was a little more difficult for us, just not necessarily knowing. In most cases, we've always kind of cast in our heads like, oh, we're going to pick this one. Coming into this one, we really didn't know. And even Turk, the student Marco who played Turk, he was brand new to us this year. This was his senior year, and he just came in from Wisconsin, I believe. Wow. And so it was just kind of a cool new year, but it was very exciting. And I think this time around it was harder for me because my son was in the play as well. And so having to be mom and musical director at the same time and, you know, go, no, that's not right, dear. We have to do that again. And so that was probably harder for me this year to do Tarzan, just because of the mom aspect that went along with it. But
well, you got to though be proud of your son, because as I saw him from show to show, and I saw the Saturday afternoon performance, he really, to me, just nailed it. But even after the show was over and the curtain calls, he was still into it. He matured a lot.
Yes, I think he did a great job, and of course, I'm so proud as a mom. But it was really exciting and neat to see, especially with all the little ones, just the process that they went through and how they just, you know, embraced themselves with our kids, and they just loved on them, and it was just such a wonderful process, you know, all around. And I think, you know, they're balls of energy, and it was hard to contain them sometimes, but I couldn't imagine the show without all of them there. So it was lots of fun. And the other boy who played Tarzan, Abbott, he did a great job as well, and we got to know his mom. It was kind of like, oh, another friend to come into our lives. So we just loved the whole process with our littles.
Very good. Chrissy, your first taste of a musical at Waco High School, but you have some musicals in your background. Talk about how this one, I guess, compared with some of the things you did before at your previous school.
Well, at my previous school, we did older musicals that were a little less technologically advanced. We had so many amazing things that we were able to do in this space with our lighting and all of those things. Something else that was very different is having to create the children ape-wise and adding the music aspect to them also moving like apes and behaving like apes. That was quite a challenge.
Okay, these singers that you had on stage had to be physically fit too, especially those that had to walk around unhuman-like.
Right. We had for, 3 months before we started the process, we actually had workouts that they were required to come to. And even this summer, we had a clinic where we pulled out some of the different props and had them walking and moving like apes, and also watching videos of actual apes and gorillas and just trying to get that into their bodies, really.
I think it was Bryson Shavers played the part of Porter. He mentioned to us in his interview, he's done acting before, he's never done singing. Y'all, who worked with him the most? Who wants to talk about that?
I think we both tackled it, but he came in and I would sing his part for him on his phone, and so he could practice with that, and it was just more of him trusting himself because he did a great job and he's really good at it, and I just don't think he thought he could do it, and so that was really fun to get to work with some of the actors that we've never really worked with in that process. It was a lot of fun, but he just had to own it and he had to believe that he could do it, and once that came across and then he became Porter and started singing like the father, then it just magically happened one day, and it was like, yay, it was so exciting. So
yeah, because in previous musicals, I think a lot of them, if not most of them, consisted of people who were already in the choir.
Correct.
This time, not so. How is that? Is that challenging for a music teacher?
In some ways, yes, but like she was saying, they came to us knowing mostly how to sing. I just don't think they realized they could do that while acting as well.
What are you going to take away most from this? I'll start with you.
I really just enjoyed, especially being my first year, really immersing myself in the program. We're here 14 hours a day for the last month at least, and just getting to know the kids so well and these individuals. I've just had a blast this year learning all these people.
Another musical under your belt. Where does this one rank?
Oh, I've loved them all. I really have. But I think as far as spectacle and the amazing things that our kids did in learning how to climb the ropes, and in a beautiful set that Mr. Garrett was able to get these kids to put up and do. I mean, it was just, I think having 4 people instead of 3 is it helps a lot. But I don't know, this one was just kind of magical in so many ways, and they were all great. And for all my kids, former kids, I've loved every single one of them, and I'm not going to rank them because I can't. But this one was definitely magical.
Great. Music teachers, thank you so much for what you did. Now we're going to turn and talk to the theater teachers, beginning with Kaylin Childress. Kaylin, you got another one under your belt. As I was telling Carrie, where does this one rank?
Oh, it really is so tough, but I do think that this one kind of took Waco High Musical Theatre to another level. I think that with Joseph, it was a lot of fun to kind of get everything started and get the kids, a basic foundation. With Into the Woods, we took on more challenging music and more challenging acting, I think, than Joseph. And with this one, just to add the technical element and to add moving lights and haze and swinging on aerial silks. There were just so many things that were outside of the realm of what you'd expect in a high school production. Not to pat ourselves on the back too much, but I think it was something that a lot of students in high school don't get to experience, and so we were pretty excited about that.
One thing that made this all come together, and we're about to talk about that with Mr. Garrett, was the lighting. It's one thing to build that magnificent set, but when you get the right lights on it and all of a sudden it becomes really truly three-dimensional and really a spectacle from the audience.
Right. We cannot express how grateful we are for Philip Morgan advocating to Waco ISD, to Dr. Kane, and to the board for some really beautiful lighting instruments. The very first year that he was here, he got us brand new overhead lighting and front lighting, and then over the last 2 years, he has gotten us intelligent lighting and new fixtures in the auditorium for the house lights, and it just has really taken things to another level, and so we can't be grateful enough for him for doing that, for the board and Dr. Kane for providing it, but then also, of course, for Mr. Garrett for utilizing it, because it would be really fun to have, but I wouldn't have gotten much out of it if it had just been me.
Of course, you're talking about intelligent lighting, those lights that kind of move like on some of those shows we see on TV. I mean, you know, they're very expensive too, aren't they?
They're not cheap. They're not, but I think that anybody who saw the show can say that they were worth it. And obviously they can be used at both of the high schools, so University will have the opportunity to add some cool elements to their show next year, so that's fun, but we were happy to break them in.
Kaylin Childers, congratulations. Speaking of intelligent lighting, how about an intelligent light board man? You name it, he can do it. Corey Garrett, congratulations. Tell me about looking back at this and what you're most proud of.
I am truly most proud of our kids. I have some technicians who don't take no for an answer. There'd be days where I wanted to give up, like on certain elements like the waterfall or some things that just weren't working. And they kept saying, no, we're going to figure it out. And we did, and it was fantastic. Their drive carries us over when our drive is almost gone. And it's great to do, put on great spectacle, but knowing that these kids come here every day and are dedicated, that's the best part.
Mr. Garrett, you're relatively new to Waco High School. What's your background?
My background is in professional theater. I was doing professional theater for a while in Chicago and then in Germany. And I came back and I was kind of down and looking for some things. And I was a teaching assistant at a college in Dallas. And one day out of the blue, she called me up and said, "You want to get your teaching certificate and move to Waco?" And I said, "Let me think about it." It became yes once I met the choir teachers and I met Mr. Morgan, and how passionate everyone was about the arts was evident from the things that I'd seen some of her shows before, and it was the support that brought me to Waco. A lot of school districts don't have that. A lot of schools don't have that from their districts.
And you come and you get to work with some outstanding kids. I mean, that's what it's all about.
All about. We have the best kids.
Okay. Where does this rank in all of the stuff you've done in the past? You have quite a bit of experience.
I do, and I'm not going to lie, it's up there. It's way up there. But I'm one person heading up the tech department, so I can't do it without them. I would love to say that it was all me and that I did a great, amazing job. But I teach my kids to make no small plans. That's a thing that I really passionately believe in. If you're going to do theater or art of any kind, don't make a tiny sketch. Do the full painting. Mm-hmm. And they've embraced that so much that they'll come to me and say, "Hey, I had this thought. We could take this and make it this much bigger." And I said, "Absolutely, let's do it." And I think it's that drive in them that made this show 110%. So it's up there in my book.
Great. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And it's passion like that, Kaylin, that makes working here so much fun, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, what the best thing about doing musicals here, and what we have loved and makes us look forward and already be making plans for the next one, but don't ask what it is because we won't tell, is this team and loving getting to work together. The four of us have had a blast, and we end up fighting like sisters and brothers, but it's because we love each other so much, and we love the students, and we love the product, and we want it to be the best that it can possibly be, and and we want to bring excellence to Waco ISD, and that's our drive and that's our passion is to bring that excellence, to show students that they can be involved in something that's not just mediocre. We don't like mediocrity because they're capable of so much more. They really are, and we want them to know that. And so between the four of us, I think that's our dream for them.
Tarzan, definitely not mediocre. This was outstanding. Best of luck as you enter it in the Dallas Summer Musicals.
Thank you. We're excited. March 30th, we'll hear about any nominations, so we're hopeful and anticipating that.
Very good. Once again, these are the folks who made Tarzan the musical such a great, spectacular event here at Waco High School. You've been watching the Making of Tarzan on WISD TV. We'll leave you with one final scene.
Botany handbook didn't even begin to prepare me for this. I know you. Carilla papaya, mixa orellana, calistri moneni.